Apologies for the mess on the left here. I have not had a chance to clean this desk up. Cue the intro. How is it going, guys? Today we're taking a look at Transformers RID 2001, Optimus Prime, and Ultra Magnus. I do want to quickly note that this is the universe version of Ultra Magnus. At least everything I've researched is what I believe, because of the dark bits all over him instead of the bright blue. And I will say I was super excited when I bought these, especially for how complete they were. Optimus Prime is missing his gun, as far as I can tell. Other than that, they are complete. All tires are intact still. Some of them on both Prime and Magnus are cracked, but that's also 25 years of wear and tear. It's going to happen. Right off the bat, though, we're actually going to get started with Ultra Magnus. We'll talk about Optimus in just a minute. Ultra Magnus is your typical car carrier, and I will say, I wish Hasbro did this more. I wish they were a little more crazy with their designs and not all G1. Because look at this car carrier. That's so cool. That is so much nicer than the G1 Ultra Magnus. Like, look at that. That is so cool. He does come with a weapon. It's his dual cannons from the show. Do bear in mind, I have not watched RID 2001, so I have no idea what this name is. So I'm just gonna set that to the side. I know they made the gun into a character with the HasLab, but that's about it. Let's just take an off for a minute. This is such a gorgeous looking car carrier. It can fit deluxes onto it. Here is Transformers Collectors Club Deluxe Breakdown. Same as G2 style Combiner Wars Breakdown. And for the inside of the car carrier, we're going to bring in 2009 Battlefield Deluxe Bumblebee from the 2-pack. And they all fit really comfortable in there. So close that up. So Ultra Magnus can carry about 3 deluxe cars, which is pretty cool. Alright, let's get you guys off and out. Transformation for Ultra Magnus and Optimus is fairly straightforward, but I will save that for a fast forward, or I will save that for a time-lapse video, because now we are going to bring in Optimus Prime, who I don't know if he is based on a real fire truck. It's not a fire truck I recognize. And then again, I'm from Canada, and these were car robots back in Japan. So I don't know what the vehicles would be in Japan. As you did see, I just pressed a button and 2 fire hoses came out, which is awesome. And he has about 4 cannons on top of his ladder. And I do have his missiles. I already fired them earlier, just to test and see if everything works. But once you get the missiles on, there's levers on the back. You can start shooting missiles. That's the only one I'm going to do. Okay. And they can fold back and store pretty neatly above on top of his ladder. And speaking of the ladder, I'm just going to bring it up. I am moving the camera, but if we wanted to, we could get the ladder fully extended up. And that is really neat on how that all works. Let me just fix all this quickly. Other than that, Optimus and Ultra Magnus are really, really cool in their vehicle modes. But I think it's about time that we transform them into their robot modes. With Optimus and Ultra Magnus now in the robot modes, I will admit, I did track these down, but when I first saw them, my initial internal thoughts was, why do they look like that? I grew up with the Primes, or Transformers Prime and the Bayverse, so I'm used to seeing those types of designs, whether they be super complex like the Bayverse or definite like what the Prime designs were. So it took a while for me to get used to them, but other than that, they are pretty neat. Starting with Prime's articulation, it's fairly modern, believe that. Legs can go out that far. Has a nice knee, doing about 90. Ankle tilts all the way around. Has a slight, or does have a waist swivel, but there's junk in the back that collides. I forgot his things are supposed to go up like that. Arms can do a full 360, can go out that far. Does have a bicep rotation as well as a 90 degrees at the bend. And his hands are actually on a ball joint. Same as his head, so he can go. Ultra Magnus, with the amount of junk he has on him, it's a little harder to get him into anything dynamic. Legs can go up that far, but they're weak. Does have a strong over 90 degrees of bend at the knees. Nothing at the ankles, nothing at the waist. Arms can do a full 360 technically on that shoulder joint. Make sure the wings don't get popped out of place. Arms can go out that far. Has a bicep rotation on a ball joint. Does have wrist rotation thanks to a ball joint, as well as fingers, but they're all segmented together. And his head is on a neat little ball joint. He's got a lot of ball joints, which is detrimental to a figure, but I'm not complaining. I still love these two. Prime's, the remaining of Prime's trailer or fire truck mode can be turned into a base, which I'm not really in the mood to do, but we can do is alternate combinations for Prime. So we're just going to take it all apart here for a minute. Come on, get off, there we go. Fold in his wheels, or no, I'm going to fold those in. Wheels stay out, my bad. And these bits, they're going to plug into the shoulders of Prime. There we go. You got Prime with a set of screw-you cannons. And if you wanted to give Prime this, you can give him a fist of doom. If I can hold it in one hand, you can give him his fists of doom. like so. Oh, come on. There we go. With how small his feet are, they can't exactly take the weight. Since we're already this far, we're going to get him into his combined mode, or his super mode, I should say. And that involves us taking off his shoulder cannons, folding the light bars down, and we're going to start by his feet. So we're going to flip out his big toe, fold in the wheels, then flip the rest of the toe out, open this panel here, flip out the knee guard. That's one foot, and we're just simply going to plug it into the foot and make sure that knee guard is secured right there. Do the same thing with this side. Open that up, fold that out. Foot comes out that far, tires go in, folds out all the way, and plug his boots, or put them in his boots, like so. Going to take his entire torso, bring it up, extend his arms. I'm going to make his other fist of doom. Make sure it tabs into the shoulders or into the forearm. Then we can close it all around, like so. Make sure, and these are just going to slide right over top of his existing shoulders, like that. Like that. And then for this, I'm going to bring his ladder all the way up, rotate it to the side, flip it all the way down, and then extend that. Those have to be folded up, bring that up, and we're going to just start by plugging everything in. Come on. Oops. Make sure that's all plugged in. And that is Optimus in his super mode, which is pretty cool. Granted, he doesn't exactly achieve much in articulation, especially with all this bulk on him now. Arms have become very limited with the amount of gunk or stuff hanging on it. His feet are no longer posable. And his head, really beautiful head. As moving, I never thought of this before. Gun ears. I'm just going to quickly talk about it. That chrome foil inside of his eyes is amazing. And the more I look at it, it looks like he has either a really big mouth that doesn't know how to close, or it actually looks like a fire helmet. Yeah. That is pretty much Optimus and Ultra Magnus in their robot modes. Now we're going to combine them into my favorite mode. Oh yeah, the HasLab has nothing on this thing. Like, look at the chunk. Guys thought Bay vs. Prime, 07 Leader Prime was chunky. You've never met Omega Prime. Like the original Omega Prime. It's just wow. So I did realize I forgot to show off Ultra Magnus's gun in robot mode. Well, for Ultra Magnus himself. But we're gonna talk about it here. You'll be able to take Ultra Magnus's gun, being this here, and you can give Omega Prime a big old. Maybe I plug it in the right way first. So we'll just flip them around. Flip those about. Come on, there we go. We'll just give Ultra Omega Prime here a big old aerial FU. That looks ridiculous. I have not figured out any other ways for Omega Prime to use this gun in robot mode or in combined form. But, whatever. Another thing I did forget or did neglect to do was their voice boxes. So if I reach back here into Omega Prime's big old jetpack, Omega Prime says his name and Magnus's name too, which is pretty neat. Curious, what happens if I hold the one button down? That's guns. And that's SMGs. Alright. Yeah, it's a really neat set. We do also have Optimus Prime's leftover bits from his fire truck in combined form. I'm just going to set you back for a second. So we do have all these fire truck bits still. These can combine into a base. We're simply just going to fold down Prime's kneecaps. Bear in mind, I have not done this ever, or in a long time. So I'm going to have a hard time trying to remember. I think... No, it doesn't sit like that. It's one of those that you plug that in there. Oh. Give me 1 second. I have to search this up. Alright, I figured it out. So, I'm going to put his 2 feet together, and then we're going to place down his main torso bit right there. His forearm bits are going to fold out, hand flips out, gun rotates that way, and that's going to plug in right there on the foot. And then his shoulder pad is going to plug in right there, like so. Same thing on this side. Flip that out, rotate that, plug in the shoulder pad there. And that just plugs into that. And that is something. Definitely a way to utilize the spare parts. Just gonna rotate this quickly and fold that out. Flip that up as a tower. I'm going to flip out all of his guns while we're at it. There we go. Perfect. You know, it's something when the base mode is taller than the core robot. So that's pretty neat use for spare parts. Just going to get that out of the way now. Omega Prime's articulation, we're just going to say forget about it. It's not worth a fight. But I'm just going to oogle the look of the robot just a little longer. Just embrace in its glory. Do I recommend a Omega Prime, or at least an original in really good shape? Yes. Are you going to find one for a decent price? Hell no. I paid about $230 Canadian for Ultra Magnus and Optimus together. Do I feel like I spent a little too much? Almost definitely. Did it feel worth it in the end? Almost definitely. Do I feel like picking up any more of the RID 2001 guys? Maybe. Maybe track down Scourge sometime in the future. But no. This is the... Oh my god, I just realized he has Autobot insignias engraved onto his forearms. Oh, that is cool. Look at that, right there. That's an Autobot symbol. Okay, never mind. 10 out of 10. Pick one up. Please do like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you all in the next video later.